My dear friends, soon we are going to celebrate the feast of our blessed patron, St. Francis de Sales. I wish you all a very happy feast. In this webinar, I would like to speak on the theme St. Francis de Sales, so holy, so human. The scripture says, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." According to our patron, St. Francis de Sales, the love of human beings for God has its origin and perfection in God's eternal love for human beings. Therefore, he sincerely and seriously tried to live these two great and the most necessary commandments in his life. His love for God is total, and his love for humans is absolutely genuine. Here in this webinar, I would like to focus on these two important aspects of Christian life, that is, love for God and the love of other human beings, which we simply call love of neighbor. So, let me first clarify at the very outset that what I intend to communicate through this webinar is how holy and humane St. Francis de Sales was towards God and other people as priest, missionary, confessor, spiritual director, and bishop. While his simplicity, piety, humility, and missionary zeal were proofs of his pure love towards God, his kindness, compassion, understanding, patience, generosity, availability, hospitality, and gentleness were clear proofs of his love of neighbor. And I would just summarize these human qualities into one great virtue that he lived for, that is humanness. Hence, he would make crystal clear, I am nothing but human. In fact, in being so humble and gentle, the jewel of Savoy tried to imitate the meekness and gentleness of Jesus Christ himself, who insists, "Learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart." We know for sure that his motto was to live Jesus. Therefore, all that he said and did was aimed at living this motto sincerely. Thus, first of all, he loved God wholeheartedly and with single mindedness, and others after the heart of Jesus himself. That is why St. Vincent de Paul, a contemporary of St. Francis de Sales, could say about the gentleman saint the following words: "Oh, how good must God be, since the Bishop of Geneva is so kind." Love is a deep, tender, ineffable meaning of affection and solicitude towards persons. This love which we have for others is expressed through acts like appreciation, caring, sharing, forgiving, helping, understanding, and sacrificing. Since love is the virtue of the heart, once we enliven the heart of love in us, it gives birth to many other virtues which are necessary for a good relationship with others. The first and the greatest commandment of love for God must always be given the first place. It cannot be replaced by any other love, including the love of neighbor. St. Francis de Sales was absolutely clear about this eternal truth. Therefore, he loved God with all his mind, heart, and strength, that is to say, with single minded devotion, which in turn held dominion over all his thoughts, desires, passions, and affections. Saint Jane de Chantal, the spiritual daughter of St. Francis de Sales, testifies thus. His life was spent in the most exact observance of the divine commandments of God and in the keeping of the evangelical counsels as far as his condition and human weakness would permit. It is well known that all the actions of his life were the outcome and the token of the divine love which dominated his soul so powerfully. Once, speaking to a person whom he loved as himself, he said to him, "If God were to command me to offer you up in sacrifice, as he commanded Abraham to sacrifice his son Isaac, I would sacrifice you." It is this same love of God which made him to undertake innumerable trials to go in search of souls with much zeal and enthusiasm. According to his holy daughter, Jane, so many souls guided by him along the way of perfection, so many thousands of sermons preached by him in various places, all his toils in reforming monasteries and establishing the order which he himself instituted. Finally, his entire devotion of himself to each and all these things are truths which render an ample testimony to the most pure and perfect love for God. His spiritual classic, Treatise on the Love of God, is a clear proof of his ever burning love he experienced within himself. However, he considered that all the delights of heaven are as nothing compared to the supreme love of God. Hence, my dear friends, he exhorts, we must now at once, without delay, lift up our hearts to our immortal King and live for him. May God reign eternally over my heart. I tell you that my heart is made for that only. There is nothing in us except sin which does not belong to him. Accordingly, our patron would say, if there were with me one single fiber that did not cling to him in affection and did not come from him, I would instantly tear it out. Yes, if there were one solitary spot in my heart, unmarked by the crucifix, I would have none of it. My dear friends, he also says, I really love none but God and all souls for God, and that what is not God or for God is nothing to me. In short, we can say that his heart constantly burned and consumed by this fire of divine love. That is why I would say St. Francis de Sales is so holy and devout. Now let us see his love for others, love of neighbor. The Apostle of Chablais loved God in man, man in God. He was extremely gentle kind, and compassionate towards everyone. Thousands of people were converted because of his gentleness, kindness, exceptional patience, and life example. According to the people who were close to him, he never gave a command even to those who were bound to obey him, whether his servants or his clergy, except in the form of a request or suggestion. He hardly forced people to do what they did not like to. He never tried to impose his ideas on others. He believes that we must gently propose to others whatever we wish them to do. It is good to remember the beautiful words of the gentleman saint. Always be as gentle as you can. And remember that more flies are caught with a spoonful of honey than with 100 barrels of vinegar. Yes, Francis de Sales loved God with highest perfection. He also loved his neighbors with the greatest love. According to his spiritual daughter, Jane Frances de Chantal, his love towards others was the most perfect in its kind and its extent, and he practiced it faithfully to the very end of his life with the greatest perfection. Indeed, for about 19 years, I never knew him to fail in doing all the good and rendering all the service in his power to his neighbor. Indeed, he was so impartial that he never turned away anyone, sinner or not. He served the rich and the poor with utmost charity. He gave alms to women leading bad lives in order to convert them. However, we can say undoubtedly his sole purpose of his charity towards others is to glorify God always. According to him, we must never refuse our neighbor any aid or comfort which we have it in our power to give him. Indeed, it is said, he welcomed all any time. He put aside all his duties in order to attend to those who came to see him and spared no efforts to help them. He listened to them with great interest and attention. He never considered it a waste of time, even when others pointed out. He received them with kindness, treated them with gentleness, and helped them generously. So much so, he would say that all came to him without fear. Jane would say, no one was afraid to approach him, and all were ready to tell him their wants with perfect confidence. Everyone who came to him felt at home and experienced his charity and kindness. Monsignor John Pierre Camus, Bishop of Belley, who recalls the wonderful words of our beloved saint, who used to say, adopting the words of Jesus himself to St. Peter, feed the flock of God which is among you, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre's sake, neither as lording it over the clergy, but being made a pattern of virtue to the flock. For Francis de Sales strongly believed that the same love which causes us to love God gives rise to the love of neighbor. He devoted quite a significant time for their spiritual welfare. He refused to confine himself to the episcopal mansion and tried to spend quality time with them, preaching, teaching, serving, catechizing. He maintained a very direct and personal contact with all the people in his care, commoner and scholar alike, saints and sinners together. He behaved with his neighbors as if he was born to serve them. Whenever he saw people waiting for him, he attended to them immediately without any delay. If he were occupied with some important works, then he would entrust one of his staff to see to their needs. And if he were not able to help, at least he would listen and comfort them. He is to give lodging to many monks who might be passing by and who had no house of their order in the town, and to many ecclesiastics who came here for different purposes. He gave alms to the mendicant orders, especially Capuchin fathers, and helped generously many convents. He gave large pensions to poor old priests. He also gave presents to the churches in need. According to Saint Jane de Chantal, all this was possible for him only because of his eagerness to do good to his neighbor and his tender and perfect love for his neighbor. That's why he gave alms to the poor and the needy. She testifies, often he gave away his clothes, his linen, and his shoes and stockings. Even he used to go in search of those poor people to help them, and through them, the other less privileged than them. In fact, he visited the hospitals, the sick, and prisoners to the great consolation of these poor sufferers who were encouraged by him to bear their pains and afflictions patiently. Jesus teaches, "You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist one who is evil. But if anyone strikes you on the right cheek, turn on him the other also. And if anyone would sue you and take your coat, let him have your cloak as well. And if anyone forces you to go 1 mile, go with him 2 miles." Matthew 5:38-41. Therefore, my dear friends, St. Francis de Sales too was extremely gentle and forbearing towards his neighbor, even when they mocked at him. He observes, "It is a great part of our perfection to bear one another in our imperfections, for there is no better way of showing our own love for our neighbor." To conclude, St. Francis de Sales, perfectly following his spiritual maxim, everything by love, nothing by force, he did also everything for the love of God and nothing out of fear or favor. He didn't even do anything to merit heaven or to escape hell, but solely to love God and glorify him. That is why he firmly says, "Let me love God or die. Either let my heart be torn from me, let it be filled with nothing but the love of God." O God, why should we live through the coming year unless that we may love thy goodness better? Let it take us out of this world over, or else take this world away from me. Either let it bring us to our death, or else make us love his death better than our own. St. John, the evangelist, makes it crystal clear in the following verses. Those who say, I love God, and hate their brothers and sisters are liars. For those who do not have love a brother or sister whom they have seen cannot love God whom they have seen. For God is the supreme motive of every human action. Love of neighbor is the fruit of it. Indeed, true love of God impels us to reach out to our neighbors in their time of need. The Apostle of Chablais won the Calvinists and even those who came to kill him with his unconditional love and gentleness. And Francis de Sales declares, oh, how happy will you be when men slander you and say all manner of evil of you, hating the truth which you offer them. Rejoice with much joy, for so much the greater is your reward in heaven. It is a royal thing to be calumniated for having done well, to be stoned in a good cause. Jesus says, then the king will say to those at his right hand, come, you that are blessed by my Father. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was naked and you gave me clothing. I was sick and you took care of me. I was in prison and you visited me. He further says, truly I tell you, just as you did it to one of the least of these who are members of my family, you did it to me. And this is what exactly our patron, St. Francis de Sales, the gentleman saint, did. He fed the hungry, he gave water to the thirsty, he welcomed strangers, he clothed the poor, he cared and consoled the sick, and he visited the prisoners. Thus, he loved God in man and man in God. Live Jesus.